Hello, welcome to the 5th episode of Gear Up, presented by the Robotics. Our special guest today is Team 11112, Robolords, an FTC team from the US. They were the Inspire Award winner and winning alliance at the Glen Allen qualifier.
Learn about that robot, team goals, and outreach. So let's gear up. Alrighty, well, thank you for coming on today. It's a pleasure to have you guys. Would you be able to just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your team?
Yeah, okay. So we're team 11112, the Robolords. My name is Econch. And wait, listen, this is Shree.
Oh, we can go around. Hi, I'm
This is the
Shree.
captain of the team. Yeah, so I think we've been a team.
You want to go around?
Oh, you want to go around?
Yeah, let's go around.
Okay, yeah.
All right, my name's Tejas. This is my third year on the team, and I'm the driver this year.
I'm Nihal. I do programming, and this is my first year on the team.
Hi, my name is Anirudh. I'm my third year on the team. I do build, CAD, and outreach on this team.
Hi, my name is Nitish. I do CAD, build, and I'm the driver this year. This is my fourth year on the team.
Hi, I'm Anuv. This is my first year on the team, and I do build and CAD.
Hi, I'm Pratik. This is my third year on the team, and I do build and CAD.
Can't touch you.
Oh, hi, my name is Sridhan, and I this is my third year on the team, and I do build, CAD, and wiring.
Hi, my name is Jia. This is my second year on the team, and I'm one of the outreach leads.
And hi, I'm Shree, and I'm the captain, and I'm the programming CV lead.
Very nice to meet you all. Would you like to start by giving us an overview of your robot?
Yeah, sure. So first we have our intake system. So what we do is
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a four-stage Robolord wiper slide at the bottom of our robot. They'll extend, and then we have our claw here, which can rotate to pick up any orientation of samples. And then what we'll do is we'll align, and then we'll close. And then these triangles that you see here will help correct the sample into
align it position, yeah. So
align it to a parallel position, so we're able to transfer it very nicely.
Yeah, so let's put a sample here. So here for our transfer, you can see we have this 3D printed funnel shape with some gecko wheels, and basically the gecko wheels spin. Boot wheels?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're boot wheels. So the boot wheels spin and they guide the sample through this funnel into our scoring system, the door is closed. So our scoring system, you see here? Okay, wait. Bring the camera up. Yeah, okay, so our scoring system is a rotating basket on a Go-Builder Viper slide with a door which keeps the sample in place while we're scoring. So we just rotate, open the door, and drop the sample in the high basket. Yeah, so then when we come around to the back of the robot, we have our specimen scoring system, which, okay, yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll pick up, our human player will place this on the field wall, and then our claw, it's the same as the intake claw. We'll come to the wall and we'll pick it up. And then as we're driving to the chamber, we'll lift this arm to the front of our robot and align it with the bar. And then once we get there, we can bring it back and the specimen will clip on.
Yeah. So do you have any questions?
How does your robot stand out in comparison to other FTC robots this season?
Yeah, okay, so one way that our robot is unique from other robots in the Chesapeake region is our sample scoring system and our specimen scoring system are two separate subsystems, which means during a competition, if one of our subsystems breaks, let's say our basket falls off or transfer doesn't work, we're able to switch to the other subsystem and we can still keep scoring. So if scoring breaks, we can start doing specimen. Specimen breaks, we can start doing sample. So so that way we can always keep playing no matter what happens in the game.
Yeah, it's super cool. Obviously, being such a unique robot, can you outline some of the challenges that you've had this season and how you've had to overcome them?
So really one of the major challenges that we've had is fitting all our different subsystems together. So we designed these individually in CAD on Fusion 360, but then it's one thing designing and then it's one thing implementing. So when we designed our intake system and try to make it work with our transfer system, it seemed like everything was going to work well, but we ran into many spacing issues and had to iterate over just a simple transfer portal multiple times so we can get it perfectly falling from our intake to transfer into our basket. So we've been constantly juggling like the spacing issue, and we've also learned how to balance the simplicity and complexity of our robot. So if you noticed, our claw is very complex. It's very like compact, and we made sure that it had the minimum tolerance that it needed. So since our claw is so complex, we decided to cut down on the complexity on other parts. So now our scoring system is just a simple basket with a simple door, and was very easy to implement compared to our claw.
So I do have a question. What is your favorite part of your robot, and why is that?
So our favorite part of the robot is actually our claw, because this is part of the robot that's used on multiple places. For example, the same claw is also used in our specimen. Okay. The same claw is used in our specimen scoring system as well. So, and also this claw went through various iterations to get to the point where it is. We started off with a pretty bulky claw, and since it was bulky, it was unable to pick up the samples in the orientations we wanted. So we had to design this more compact claw. And as I mentioned before, we also found a way to make sure it has the minimum amount of tolerance that it needed. I don't think you can see it well, but we have the gear teeth over here are barely scraping by against this a little rod that we added for support. And because of that, we have basically like zero tolerance between the actual gears and the actual rod. So we did this so the space for our claw and the weight of our claw can get cut down as much as possible. So.
And then as a driver this season, it's just like really satisfying to watch the claw like go and like rotate and then pick up all these different orientation samples really fast and like bring it back. And it's just really nice to watch.
Yeah, it's super cool. You mentioned some design before. How do you approach the design process for a new robot or new robot systems?
Right. So when the season begins, we watch the game video, and once we're completely done watching the video, we all brainstorm what challenges will appear. For example, we have to score onto what are they called? The rungs, right? Chamber, right. We need to score onto the chambers. So one team decided, hey, we'll need a specimen arm. So that's when it designed that. We split up depending on what challenges we think there will be. And with CAD, we can also keep everything up to date so we can ensure there are no collisions as we go through the process.
Yeah, so basically we split up into subsystems and we just work on the separate parts. Like somebody will work on scoring, somebody will work on intake. And as we're working, we design all of our parts and put them in CAD, and we have a team hub so everybody can see what everything designs. And that way we make sure that the different subsystems we're designing don't collide with each other, and when we end up putting it on the robot, it'll all work together.
Yeah, and then throughout the season, what we do is we start with one design in CAD, and then we'll prototype and build it. And then throughout the season, we'll notice like these different problems and things that we need to fix in new iterations. So we'll iterate through our designs, we'll fix a few things, and then we'll go back and prototype it again. And we'll keep continuing this process until we have a system that we really like and really works all the time.
All right. Well, that is really interesting. Just on that note, I wanted to ask, how do you make sure you have effective organization and communication between your CAD team and your build team?
So basically, a lot of the members in our team are trained in the training. Like we all learned how to use Fusion 360 to some degree. So like Tejas, Nitish, Pratik, and me, we all have some degree of CAD knowledge. So even when we're making and coming up with these designs, we could all like show each other our Fusion 360 files on our Robolords team hub, which everyone can see each step file that's being created. On top of that, after every subsystem is being designed and we think that we're in a logical point, we all come together and discuss the pros and cons in person. And then we try to we see if the pros outweigh the cons or the cons outweigh the pros. And based on that, we see if we can iterate in CAD so we can spend less time working on the real robot, work on it properly in CAD, and finalize as fast as we can to make our final robot.
It's not like we have a separate CAD team. The people who design their own subsystems in CAD end up putting it on the robot themselves.
Yeah, that's a very good way to organize your team. I really like that. Being able to train everybody in CAD and things like that. But on the programming side of things, how does your team code your robot, and what kind of libraries do you use for teleop autonomous?
Yeah. Currently, we use Roadrunner. We have through odometry under the robot, and we also do CV through our camera. Yeah, that's basically it. Currently, for auto, we have 5 specimens on the right side near the observation zone, and we're working to get 5 samples on the left side.
And on top of that, also in teleop, we try to use software to make the driver's job as easy as possible. So on the intake claw, we have a color sensor which gives the drivers haptic feedback if they picked up the right color sample. So even in the heat of the game, sometimes the drivers can't see the submersible properly. So this color sensor actually helps the drivers know if they're on top of the correct color sample and if they've picked up the right color sample.
Yeah. So what that does is when they take the sample, it vibrates their controller. So instead of, if they can't see it, they can feel if there's a sample or not.
Yeah, that's really cool. Being able to make the driving as easy as possible for the driver. That's something that sometimes is underestimated for the actual competition, is like those high pressure situations, and how can you make your driver as comfortable as possible, right?
Yeah.
How do you ensure, like, I guess you could say, accuracy between the hardware and the software? So like what you code will be the same as what actually happens, like physically, if that makes sense.
Like encoders and touch sensors and stuff.
Yeah, so we use sensors all over the robot, like talked about. We have a color sensor on our claw. We also have a sensor on the back of our horizontal extension to check if it's compressed or not, or if it's extended. We use a bunch of sensors like that, and
encoders.
Yeah, we also use encoders and PID.
Yeah, that's great. The sensors use is definitely very important as well. So you're obviously winning Alliance, and also Inspire Award winner. So let's talk a little bit about your outreach as well. So why don't I give a general overview of your outreach?
So for outreach, we do many things in terms of like marketing and motivating the community and mentoring. So for example, we actually have started a club at Eagle Ridge Middle School, which is a local middle school in our area. And from that club, this is our 4th year running the club, and they are in their 3rd year as competing FTC team, Electric Eagles. From that club, we have actually sprouted 2 different teams. Both are competing. So Electric Eagles is the club that is a team that we mentor every week. We run almost like class for them, and we help them to build a robot and mentor them on the aspects of FTC to help them get ready for competition. Last year, 2 parents that were in the club got so inspired by us that they started a 2nd team called System Overload. That is also another competing FTC team. And another team a couple years back was started by a few more parents called Metal Magic. They're in their...
This is their 2nd year competing, and we're really proud of them because they've learned a lot from this club. They used to be former members of the club in the team Electric Eagles, and then they started their own community team called Metal Magic. And this year, we're really proud to say that they were actually a winning Alliance first pick in one of the tournaments we went to also.
Yes, so we're really proud of all of our teams. On top of that, this year we actually started another junior team called Mecha Turtles, and they've also done fabulously in competitions. In both competitions, they were able to make it to elimination. And in their previous competition, they won Design Award.
Yeah, they got the 2nd place Design Award.
On top of that, we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. We also have a website, Robolords.org, where we keep track on a lot of our events and our awards.
Okay. So another thing that we do is, have you ever heard of the first global launch event? Yeah. So Dean Kamen hosts the first global launch event every year in DC, and we're actually the only FTC team that gets to go to the first global launch event. So we just bring our robot and our trifles, and we get to present about the different aspects of FTC. So like all these senators, delegates, innovators, and businessmen.
Yeah, this is our 3rd.
Yeah, this is our 3rd year coming to the first global launch event.
As you can see, last year we were honored to have our side plate signed by Dean Kamen himself. yeah, it's just an honor being there and being able to present to all of these people, these delegates, these government officials, and able to meet them, able to present to them. It's an honor. And also, I think one thing we didn't talk about was our fundraising. We've actually partnered with companies such as Papa John's and Krispy Kreme, and we've held fundraisers outside of our local middle school. And that's not only to raise money for us, but it's also, again, spread the word of FTC and try to get more people to join this amazing community.
We have a lot of members that will be graduating in a few years. So one thing to keep in mind is this sustainability, because that's really important if you want to have a really long-lasting team like we do. This is our 9th year in FTC. So what we do is we host a lot of workshops and events at local libraries where we spark the interest not just in FIRST, but also STEM and a lot of younger people like middle schoolers and elementary schoolers. And the people who show a lot of interest at the events, we start to recruit into our team. So, for example, we have members like Anirudh, Tejas, and Pratik who all joined through this way. And we plan to keep doing this in the future so we can always have a really long-lasting team.
Yeah.
And one more thing. So with the people who have graduated to college, we'd like to keep a really, really good relationship with our alumni so they can be long-lasting mentors for us. So one of the most impactful ways they've helped us is honestly with CV. So one of our alumni who had used computer vision OpenCV made a training guide for us so we could learn about contours and masks and everything about the OpenCV platform. So coming forward, especially this year, we could learn how to use that program and implement it successfully for the game season.
Other than the first global launch, does your team have another achievement that you're proud of?
I'd say our proudest achievement is honestly starting that middle school, the club in Eagle Ridge Middle School.
Yeah.
The impact that it's had on the community is truly astonishing. So because of that club, that club inspired a lot of student passion for FIRST. So we started that club. We run it every Wednesday. So we meet them in person. Members like Nihal, Gia, they all teach these kids about the engineering design process, programming, CAD, engineering portfolio design, everything, all that kind of stuff. But because of that, they learn to love FIRST in and out, and they started their own team. So a few years back, that club started a team called Metal Magic, and this is their second year competing. And from their first year to now, they have learned a lot, and they'll be coming to our Chesapeake State tournament. And this year, a rookie team, System Overload, which Gia mentioned, is similar in that aspect as well.
Yeah,
we actually met with the coach today, and he was really telling us how without that club, those kids and even that coach wouldn't have even known about FIRST. And truly, that organization really hasn't had an impact and really inspired. And they really wanted us to come encourage the kids. And I felt that was really impactful today.
Yeah.
So I really feel like that's one of the most triumphant moments for us as a team.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's such a proud moment for us because all of these people which we have seen and learn and grow, and then to see them succeed, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's super cool. You guys have put so much effort into outreach, and it looks like it's it's really paid off. Number one, in being able to help younger people and younger students, and yeah, I guess different students join FIRST and be part of that community. Obviously, you guys have put in an immense amount of effort, and that has paid off. Obviously, you guys have won the first Inspire Award. Would you be able to? I'm just going to move over to a little bit about awards now. So, would you have any advice for teams regarding the Inspire Award or any other awards?
Yeah. Okay. So I would say my number one piece of advice for any teams that are looking to win awards like Inspire, Control, Motivate, or whatever they would like to win is they should really plan out and rehearse their judging script as much as possible. That's one thing that we got better at this season is we started writing out our scripts and practicing them together, whether it be on a Google Meet or in person, or just whenever we have a little bit of free time, we just practice our scripts. And another thing is during the script itself is I would say it's more powerful and more impactful to the judges if you focus on like your iterations of the robot and like how you learned and grew as a team rather than just what the robot does. I think that has plays a plays a much bigger factor when judges are deciding awards.
One more thing I'd like to add is, other than public speaking and talking more about the engineering process of the robot, when it comes to the Inspire Award, community service and outreach is extremely important. So focusing on quality over quantity is probably the best advice I could give on that aspect, because I feel like a lot of teams might try to like mentor as many FTC or FLL teams as they can find and like overboard themselves with that. But finding a few authentic, unique experiences for your team, like for example, our Eagle Ridge Middle School Club, going to First Global, like experiences like that really like shape us and help us learn, because we're connecting with extremely highly qualified people. And we're also mentoring and motivating so many kids and helping them join this community that you and I are part of. So definitely quality over quantity is the best thing I could say.
Yeah, that's some great advice. I'm sure teams who watch this will be very grateful for that, and be able to maybe get the Inspire Award and other awards like that, just like you. And obviously, as you have gotten that award and also been in the winning alliance, what are your goals from here? What are you planning to do for the rest of the season?
Yeah. Okay. So like goals for a robot or just like for the team?
Why not both?
So our state championship is actually next week on Saturday, on February 8th. So one of the goals we have for a robot at least is to have a very consistent autonomous working. So one of the things we know this season more than any other is that autonomous plays a really big part of, who's going to win the game. Like the points are all double counted, and having a really like high scoring autonomous that's really, really consistent is something that's really important in the elimination matches, where if you want to pick someone, you want to look at what they're able to do well, and if you want to be picked, like an autonomous really helps you stand out.
That sounds good. Great goals. And I think maybe to wrap up with the last question, is there any advice you would give to FTC teams, rookie, veteran, just anything at all?
I would say just have fun. I mean, first is a learning experience, but it's not always about winning. It's about having fun. It's about meeting new people and learning from them.
Yeah, I definitely add on to what Gia said. More so like, and for a rookie team, I know that sometimes rookie teams could get discouraged, but I can say that First is a really great community for learning and collaborating with so many other people. So meeting teams in their area, learning from them, talking with them, and building that trust within the community, I'd say that's probably the best advice I could give them, so they can like learn and improve and become like good teams in their area.
Yeah, that's some really, really good advice. I feel like a lot of teams would be able to use that and use it to their advantage. I'm going to ask just one of the last questions now. Where do you guys see yourself in 5 years' time? Do you still see yourself in the STEM field? Yeah.
Yeah, I think many of us plan to major, or if we're going to college, to pick majors in STEM fields. Me myself, I'm going into like the computer science field, and I know some of the other members are interested in like aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering, all these different STEM fields that FTC really helps us like build, and I think that's really important.
All right.
I'm going to say thank you very much for taking the time to talk and to talk with us, as well as this podcast. It's been very great to hear, and good luck for your future competitions. I can't wait to see how you guys go.
Thank you so much for inviting us. It was truly an honor. Good luck for you also.
Yes. Thank you very much. You just get up with Team 11112, the Robolords, FTC team from the US.
If you or your team want a chance to be featured on the podcast, head to the link in the description and sign up. Thanks for watching.